Hello, welcome back to Oh, It's Better This Way, where you can say it's better this way, but you'll be left asking the question deep within your soul, is it? I don't know. Welcome and welcome back. Today I almost called this a hammock. It's a swing, a nice old swing. Today I am reflecting and setting goals. Reflecting on the year of our Lord 2021, the year of just absolute chaos all around, and looking forward to another year of what I'm sure will be more chaos. Are you tired yet? I'm really tired. You definitely can't see my bags, but I can feel them pulsating. I didn't sleep well last night. My dog Bella is looking at me. Hi Bella. You have something to say? Come here. Yeah, that's right. You have so many opinions. They all matter. Thanks for joining, Bella. So it's me and my co-host today. If you don't know me, I'm River. Nice to meet you and make your acquaintance. I love talking, and that's what I do here. I talk about things I'm doing and things that I like. That's really it. And hopefully I cause a little bit of chaos. I at least do in my own heart. This year was a very hard year for me. I'm sure it was for many other people as well. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that. For one, I got the plague in November, and I even still now have lasting effects from it, especially with my heart rate. I can't run yet. I really miss running. I really miss running. I've been able to work up to being able to weight train again, which thank God, but I can't do too much or I get dizzy and think I'm gonna pass out. So definitely can't run yet, but hopefully we'll be able to work up to that because I miss running. And I've also had some pretty tricky job insecurity instances, some instances of job insecurity, if you will. And I've lost a few jobs for reasons out of my control. Like, sometimes startup apps just don't work out the way you really hope that they do, you know? And sometimes you get the plague and get fired. I'll drink to that. But so despite this being a hard year, I know that I also had a lot of really great accomplishments this year. Just surviving this year in general is a great accomplishment. And so despite all the bad, I wanted to take a moment to recount, you know, all the good stuff that I've provided for myself, that I've been blessed with by others, to just take a moment and really practice gratitude for all of the good that somehow managed to weasel its way out of this year, you know? I've actually had a lot of great things happen, and I want to make the space for that, so I don't just write this off as being another bad year, because yeah, it was hard and it was tough, and there were obviously lots of bad things happening both in my life and in the world at large, but I also, just for my own sanity, need to make space for the joy and for the accomplishments and such as that. Just as a little snapshot of where we are right now, it is 3:35 p.m. on December 31st. I'm River. Nice to meet you. I'm 23. Fauna, my bunny, is doing really well. She was sick like a month ago, but she's been recovering like a champ. She's doing great. I found out that Betty White passed away like an hour ago. Celebrity deaths do not ever hit me in any single way, but this one for some reason is a little bit. I think it's just making me fathom my own mortality, as I love to do. If you know me and the things that I write, you'll know that to be true. It's 52 degrees today, which God, I wish it wasn't, because it's December, almost January, and it should be freezing cold. But we hate global warming. But I'll enjoy the nice weather as much as I can, despite it also stressing me out. I finished a book last night. I visited Europe a few weeks ago. I'm in my parents' backyard, and once again, I'm on this swing. I'm sipping water out of this sippy cup. This is the best. I'm very clumsy, if you don't know. That's where I am right now. That's what life is like right now. Probably be returning to Philly in a week or two, and getting in gear for the new year. So I'm the type of person that likes to set goals and check in on goals like all throughout the year. I'm a big planner. I'm a planning lover. I love doing all that, and I love having goals and making sort of personal achievements. I love making a lot of them and achieving a lot. And so I love to set New Year's goals and intentions, but I am constantly checking in on those goals throughout the year and like letting them change and sort of retiring goals if they are no longer really suited to my path at that moment, and like I'll either save them for later, I'll put them on the back burner, or I'll just let them rest entirely. But I still love setting New Year's goals because I think it's a good time to, a really concrete time to reflect and make new goals. And yeah, so I wanted to reflect on my goals from last year and see kind of what stuck, what changed. Yeah, I'm really interested. I was looking a bit at them earlier, and I did a really stellar job. I did way more than I thought I would. So back at the brink of 2021, when I set my goals, I split them up into a few different categories, which were creative, which was projects and everything that was kind of like arts related. I had a career/finance section, which is just what it sounds like. And then I had a personal goals section, which had to do more with like skills that I wanted to be acquiring, you know? And you'll see for my 2022 goals, I kind of changed those sections a little bit, just a little bit, but we'll get there. So we'll start with the creative goals. My biggest goal in this section was to complete a draft of my musical Ghost Town, and I kind of smashed that one out of the park, because not only did I fully complete a draft of it, but I also produced a concept album for it, and it premiered in the Philadelphia Fringe Festival online. Like, I had a team of vocalists and a production team, and I got to work with my friends and make music, and just, it was so weird being positive. It was so weird positive being on the sort of production aspect of it, and really like putting time and effort into something that I made. It was very nice, very fulfilling, and I can't believe I did that. That was not a goal that I set for this year, but in March, just kind of on the spur of a moment, I was like, I should make a concept album this summer, and so I did that. I said I would do it, and I did, and it feels really good that I kind of went above and beyond that. I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of my team for pulling that off. Yeah, and the next step for that currently is, I was supposed to do this in November, but that's when I was sick. But so the next step now is to go ahead and have CDs be made for the team and the cast, and to put the album on Bandcamp to let more people access it and listen to it, and it could provide an opportunity to get a little bit more income for the vocalists, which is great. And yeah, I'm really happy and proud of that. So happy and proud. My next goal was to put out an EP for myself, and that did not happen, and I'm at peace with that. But what did happen for that was I did some planning with it of like what songs might go on it and things like that. So I'm proud of that. I wanted to have a manuscript done, either like a children's book or poetry manuscript. That also didn't happen. However, I did start planning a children's book with my friend. I should touch base with them on that and see if we still want to do that. Maybe they could do that this year. And I also did start planning a poetry manuscript, just the basic basic beginning planning of what poems I would like in a manuscript and stuff like that. But those are 2 goals that I did not complete them, but I started them, and that is a huge win. A huge win. I'm very proud of that. I wanted to finish 1 to 2 drafts of plays I've been working on, and I did that. I didn't even realize that I did that, but I finished my play Coop, which is a full length, and I finished my play 3 Scorpions Walk Into a Bar, which is my short, like, 1-act play, and I finished those. They're finished. Hopefully they'll have development in the future and I'll get to change them more, but the beginnings of them are finished, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. I wanted to do a virtual reading. I did not do that, but I'm not mad about that because I clearly did so much in my creative fields. And another goal I had was more general, not tangible, but I wanted to share my work more, and I did do that. I run a writing group every week called Wretched Poet Society, and so not only did I share my work through that, but I also was able to hold space for other writers to share their own work, and that is very fulfilling and very rewarding to be able to watch myself grow, but also watch my friends grow. It's so nice. So now we're moving on to the career and finance section. I had a specific savings goal, and I hit that, and I even went beyond that savings goal because I had 2 really well paying jobs at the same time. But then I started dealing with some job insecurity and things like that, so I had to dip into my savings a bit. But luckily, because I had surpassed my savings goal, I've been able to keep it around my initial savings goal. So I met that goal and I stuck with that, which that has been really nice because I didn't know if I'd be able to do that. I thought I would dip under, but so I'm very proud of myself for that. It has been challenging. But I did that, and even if I didn't accomplish that, I would still be proud of myself because I did it at all in the first place, and that's what savings are there for, to catch me when I fall. Another goal I had was to sell stickers of my art. Did not do that. However, in the art vein, in the visual art vein, I did do a tattoo commission. I designed an album cover for myself for the concept album. I did a commission as part of a giveaway, and I'm currently ending off the year by being commissioned by my friend to design the album cover for their EP that's coming out in January. So that'll be really nice. Look out for that. It's gonna be great. We'll definitely be talking about it. I probably won't shut up about it. And into the personal goals section, I wanted to read 40 books/plays, and this one I smashed out of the park because I read so many children's books. So many. Like, I'm talking, I read like 100 children's books or something crazy like that. So I read a total of 132 books. And I'm really happy about that. And I got to read, I love children's books, and I want to write them at some point. I'd like to write at least one children's book. So it was really nice to get exposed to that much more children's literature. It was fantastic, and it felt like a very great study for what I would like to at some point be doing. One of the many things I would like to at some point be doing. Another personal goal was to be proficient at guitar, and I would say that I got there. I am kind of like intermediate-ish, I would say. My songwriting skills on guitar are pretty proficient. I can do enough on guitar. I can do enough on it that I could be the main guitar player on my concept album, and it sounded good. So solid. I did that. And I wanted to also be proficient at bass. This, I did not reach that, but I am very fine with that because it did so much. I'm decent-ish at writing bass lines, and I can play the few bass lines that I've written, but I'd like to actually practice and study the instrument a bit more. And some things that aren't even on the list that I did was that I worked for a startup sleep app as a sleep guide, where I researched, wrote, and live streamed bedtime stories essentially, which was the coolest thing in the whole world. And I got to help people create bedtime rituals essentially and get better rest. And I saw the same people coming back and built a community, and it was really, really nice. And even some of those people who would join me in those sessions have kept up with me on Instagram, and it makes me so happy, and I miss it. I wish it didn't go under, but c'est la vie. I'm glad that I got to do it while I got to do it. I'm glad it happened at all. I'm really thankful for it. It really pointed out something to me that I'm really passionate about, which I, didn't know about being passionate about that previously. I also fell into a really nice morning routine where I would go on a morning walk after waking up pretty early, and then I would have a breakfast after the walk, and I started going to bed earlier. This was towards the end of the year, so that was a wonderful, wonderful thing that happened. I started having breakfast consistently, started an apprenticeship at a typewriter shop, which I loved learning that skill, that trade. That's another thing that I just kind of fell into, that I didn't obviously plan for. I was in a play in the Philadelphia Fringe Festival this year, and it was my first play since 2019, which was so nice. I started sharing myself and my thoughts and my art a bit more widely through Instagram and through here, and I'm just kind of in the practice of getting more comfortable in sharing what I have to offer, and it feels good to practice confidence in this way, and I'm happy I'm doing that. I've discovered a lot about myself through doing this, so I'm really happy that I've been sort of implementing that. I visited Europe, I visited towns in Belgium and towns in Germany, I visited Paris, I got to visit London again, which was so nice. I kept up with my writers group, which I mentioned earlier, holding that virtual space for writers to share their work. And I started really prioritizing getting 9 hours of rest, and prioritizing downtime, which I am still working on, and I think I will forever be working on, because I'm a very goals-oriented person, and it can be a bit to get me to truly relax, but my Taurus moon needs it, so I am trying to prioritize it despite all the Virgo and Capricorn going rampant, as always. And that was 2021. Overall, I'm really proud of myself for everything I was able to do during this year, despite everything going on, and I'm just happy that I'm able to be proud of myself also. Not in the prideful way that is often looked down on as being sort of narcissistic and weird, but like in the fact that I don't really let myself be proud of my achievements, and I'm happy I'm letting myself be proud of myself, because that is a nice change of pace. Because you can fake it, or at least I can fake it till I make it all I want, but I like to see the real change, and I've seen that real change this year with how I've been presenting myself and my ideas and my art to the world, and I just feel a lot better and like I'm in the driver's seat of my life a bit more, and I'm happy for myself. Yeah. So now on to 2022 goals. So like I said, the categories are a teeny bit different, and so the categories are creative, which has to do with, again, projects, everything arts related, that's the same. There's career, finance, and life related goals. So that includes like some more general life goals as well. There's personal, again, which is skill-based, and then I added a habits section for more of the really tiny bite-sized daily things I would like to do, that I'd either like to start implementing or continue implementing. Why am I opening this? I love this. So, to the creative goals, we shall do them first, as we did just now in that rundown. So, I'd like to keep working on my EP. I would like to actually kind of start trying to record stuff, and I think that would be a really fun practice in learning how to master music and stuff like that. So I would like to finish a poetry manuscript. I'd like to do something that has to do with playwriting, like a big thing like a residency, fellowship, festival, get an award, something along these lines. Just like one thing. I've been applying through the end of this past year, and I've continued to keep applying to different things, so I would like to maybe be accepted in one of these things. I'm already putting forth the effort, so I just hope that something pans out. But if nothing pans out, I just hope to keep putting myself out there for these things. I would like to have a poem published in a magazine or literary journal, which, again, if it doesn't pan out, no worries, but I keep putting in the work for it to hopefully at some point pan out. If not this year, hopefully next year, but I'm just going to keep putting in the work to achieve that goal, and maybe it'll happen this year. Maybe it won't. That's fine. I'd like to finish 1 to 2 more plays. We'll see. But I just have so many play ideas, and I'd like to finish a bit more so that I have more scripts that are just kind of ready to go for submissions and things like that. I'd like to continue to share all of my arts and my thoughts and things like that openly, and I would also like to book a role in a film, short film, regular length film. I would just like to be in a film. I think I would like to start some film work. I think that would be really fun, so I hope to book a role. We'll see. In the career, finance, life area, I'd like to refresh my website. It needs a big update, I think, and so I'd like to do that this year. I think I would also like to get some new headshots this year, because I feel like I look quite different than when I got them last time. So I actually didn't write that down, but I'm gonna add that to the list. I'd like to compile reels together for acting and theater and have them on my website. I'd like to dip my toes into the voiceover world, maybe audiobooks, maybe getting a character demo reel, maybe commercials. I don't really know yet. I've been toying with that for the past couple of months and trying things here and there, but yeah, I'd like to do that a bit more head on this year. I'd like to also get another steady job. Hello.
Enjoying your winter stay?
Yeah, I'm talking about my reflections and my goals for the year. So another of my goals is I would like to get another steady sort of job in a creative field that I love. So for me, this would hopefully be getting something kind of similar to what I was doing at the sleep startup app. And that's a bit niche, but I have a lot of great experience in that, and I'm definitely very highly skilled in that. So I would maybe look at the apps that were kind of similar to that and hopefully be able to write content for them, or even be the voice for their content, like just something I think related to sleep and wellness in that area. I'd love to keep helping people build their sleep habits and help facilitate a good night's rest for them, because that was very fulfilling, and I would like to do something that fulfilling again. I'd like to also design more album covers. I designed one for the concept album. I'm currently designing one for my friend right now, and I think that maybe that could be like a fun little like side hustle thing, is designing album covers. Maybe I could like put that on Fiverr or something. I don't know, but I think that that could be very fun. For the personal section for skills, I would like to go from being an intermediate guitar player to being an advanced guitar player. I'm going to try really hard to get this one. This is one of my priority ones, I would say, because I've been playing guitar kind of on and off for forever, and I think if I just sat down and really stuck with it for a year, I could be really good at it. So I think this is the year, 2022 is the year that I get really good at guitar, and I'm going to make it stick. I'm going to make it stick. I would like to get to an intermediate level in bass. I'd like to get to a beginner level with mandolin. Yes, I would. I'd also like to crochet a sweater this year. And I'd like to read 40 books again. That was my goal last year, and that's my goal again this year. So for habits, I would like to have a weekly language learning schedule that I stick to learn Italian. I'll prioritize first, but then also French. I would like to read one page of a book every day, which I think I can accomplish that. I think I can read a single page. I'd like to do one Duolingo lesson every day, because I just think that's a good way to make language learning fun, even on the off days when I'm not like studying. It's a good way to just kind of have contact with the language and like still have it in your head every day, and it's just fun. Duolingo's like games for me. I really like it, and I like the competitive aspect with the leaderboards, so I hope to do at least one lesson game thing on there every day. I would like to practice guitar for at least 15 minutes every single day, even on the days when I really don't feel like practicing, so that I can build up my self-discipline, because I don't want to be as reliant on motivation. I'd like to be more reliant on discipline, because that's something that I lack, especially with being neurodivergent. Self-discipline is very, very challenging for me, but I think it's just a muscle that I need to practice. At least that's how I view it as. I'd like to also paint and draw more for downtime, and not to show anyone, not to share anything, just for fun and just for expression, and to truly have an outlet for rest. I'd like to also start the day with something mindful, like I started doing a few months ago, so I'd like to continue doing this, but it could be the morning walks I was having every day, or it could be something else when I don't feel like walking. It could be like listening to a song for a few minutes that I like, or cooking breakfast first thing, or journaling, stretching, like anything that is mindful and I'm with myself, and I'm just letting myself enjoy my own company. That's how I'd like to start the day. I'd also like to continue working on my sleep routine and developing my solid sleep routine that I stick to most nights, and keep aiming for 9 hours of rest. Those are all of my goals. I know it got a bit loud at some points because of that. I know that I also definitely got quiet at some points because my neighbor came outside, and I'm anxious and shy all the time, even though I have nothing to worry about ever. But hopefully you can hear me. I have sound recording on my phone right here, so I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm trying to be less hard on myself. That's been something I've been trying the past couple of months, is just to take things a bit more as they come, be less hard on myself, and accept myself with open arms, and to give myself grace, the same type of grace that I often give others. I think this is a pretty good mix of, it's mostly like solid goals that I can like hit and check off, but then I like having a few that are kind of more like, oh, I'd like to do this more, you know, because I don't think those are bad goals to have. I do prefer having like definitive goals, like do this, do that, and it's very easy to tell that you've done it. But I think it's also good to have kind of mindsets in mind that you're aspiring to. At least for me, that's helpful. Just to keep prioritizing those things, and that some goals don't need to have an end goal that you check off. It's just kind of a practice. So not so much a goal, but a practice. That's why I like setting my yearly mindset and practices as well. But as you can tell, I love setting goals, and we'll see how much of this I accomplish. I'm really excited to see also how my goals change throughout the year as my priorities change and as my life changes. I'm sure these goals will too, and I always like seeing what sticks and what kind of takes a back seat, what either gets saved for the future or just gets dismissed in general. So I'm looking forward to another year that scares me as I'm saying goodbye to a year that scared me, but that managed to be successful despite things continue being crazy and scary in the world. And I'm just hoping for happiness and safety for everyone. And I'm hoping to, in this new year, invest more in the communities I'm a part of and be more active in them. And I would just like to help make everyone's days and year a bit brighter as well in the small ways I'm able to. I hope to continue having an optimistic and level-headed and problem solver-y approach to everything. Yeah, this past year, despite all of the maybe not so great things, was very abundant. The deer are coming. Oh my gosh. Oh no, they saw me. Hi. This feels magical. They're coming up behind me to get some food. I should get going so I can let them eat in peace. This year was very abundant for me, despite all the crazy things, and I hope that this coming year is as well. And even if it's not, if I'm able to survive another year and this world that we're living in, that's the hugest accomplishment of all. That is the thing that I'm proudest of most this year. Yeah, I hope to continue searching for happiness and joy in the little places that I can find it. And I hope to keep on keeping myself safe and keeping others safe. And I hope to bring joy to others in the small ways that I can, to my family and to my friends and to people I don't know. I'm feeling how I always do on this day of the year, which is overwhelmed, but I am glad that I was able to sit down and look at the things I accomplished, because usually on days like this I just think about all that I didn't, which is not helpful or happy or productive for anyone. But so I'm glad I sat down and got to think about the things that I did accomplish, so that I didn't get consumed by my own personal grief of myself. And yeah, I'm glad I set some goals. I love goals. But yeah, okay. We're gonna call it here. I could keep talking forever, but we're gonna call it here. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Let me know your goals for this coming year. I would love to hear about them. I really gotta go so that these deer can feel comfortable coming to get their food that my mom let out for them. I hope you have a year filled with as much happiness as possible. I hope your year is safe. I hope it treats you well. I hope you got to accomplish something that makes you happy this past year, and if not, there's another year ahead of us, so you got this. I hope your day's been great, and I hope, if it hasn't been, that maybe your tomorrow will be great, or the day after that. Yeah, I hope we continue doing our best on this floating rock. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's always appreciated. I love the company. Thank you for listening, and yeah, I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye.